Good morning and welcome to Korea Today, live from Seoul.
A bomb explodes on a bus in Egypt's Sinai, killing 3 Koreans on board and the Egyptian driver. Local authorities are calling it an act of terror, but no organization has claimed responsibility as of yet.
As we count the days until Kim Yeon-a's Olympic performance, we find out what she thinks about the current ice conditions in the main ice rink.
And coming up on In Print, we have an analysis of why one paper thinks Korea's benchmark Kospi has not seen substantial growth in recent years.
While snowstorms continue to pummel eastern regions of Korea, people have found interesting ways to have fun. Stay for more on Hot Clicks.
It's a month before back-to-school season here in Korea, with many students searching for the best bargains on school uniforms, which can be a burden. We get a look at some ways to save. And behind her graceful, breathtaking performances are years of painstaking training and self-discipline. Leading ballerina Kang Sue-jin now heads Korea National Ballet. Our Kim Min-jung went out to meet her on Monday, February 17th, 2014.
From Arirang News, this is Korea Today.
And thank you for tuning in. You're watching Korea Today on a Monday morning. Our Na Hyun-kyung is on assignment for the next 2 weeks. We'll get to the headlines right away.
That's right. Thank you for joining us. Now let's begin with our top story. At least 4 people, including 3 Koreans, have been killed in a suspected bomb attack on a bus carrying a Korean church group in Egypt's Sinai Peninsula. Korea's foreign ministry has confirmed 3 Koreans were killed along with the Egyptian driver. The injured are receiving treatment at a nearby hospital, but none are thought to be seriously hurt. Security sources in Egypt say the blast was caused by a bomb planted either inside or near the bus. The bus was carrying 33 people, 32 Koreans, and the Egyptian bus driver. Local authorities say the group was on its way to Israel after visiting St. Catherine's Monastery, a popular tourist attraction in South Sinai. No group has claimed responsibility for the attack as of yet.
Korea's presidential office of Cheongwade says no discussions are underway for summit talks between Korea and Japan. In a meeting with reporters on Sunday, an unnamed official from Cheongwade said the 2 countries need to build consensus on bilateral issues, including the territorial claim by Japan over Korea's Dokdo Island, Japan's wartime sexual slavery, as well as the dispute over history textbooks, before the leaders can sit down for talks. This is in response to reports by Japan's Nihon Keizai Shimbun that Tokyo is looking into the possibility of holding a bilateral summit with Seoul during the Nuclear Security Summit next month in Hague, Netherlands. The Cheongwade official declined to comment on whether Seoul has already received a summit request. The country's Midwestern Chungcheongnam-do Province is stepping up its quarantine efforts following the latest confirmation of avian influenza in poultry farms in the city of Cheonan and Cheongyang County. Officials in the province have decided to slaughter chickens and ducks within the 500-meter radius of the affected farms, while selectively culling birds that are in the 3-kilometer radius. Officials have also designated 17 medical facilities to treat workers who may have post-traumatic stress disorder after culling the birds, and will provide compensation for the farmers by next month. So far, some 236,000 birds have been culled in 8 poultry farms in the Chungcheongnam-do Province alone.
And in the first trial of its kind in well over 3 decades, sentencing for lawmaker Lee Seok-gi from the far-left United Progressive Party will take place this afternoon. Prosecutors are demanding a 20-year jail term and that Lee be stripped of his civic rights for another 10 years following his eventual release for allegedly plotting an insurrection against the government in support of North Korea. After months of deliberations, a verdict on Lee and 6 other suspects in the alleged revolt plan is expected by about 4 p.m. Korea time.
And good morning, everyone. The top news on all of our newspapers this morning is that deadly tour bus explosion in Sinai, Egypt, and that broke overnight. Let's go ahead and take a look at the story on the front page of 중앙일보. Its headline, or we'll go ahead and take a look at it here. And the headline reads, 2 Koreans dead in Egypt terror bus explosion. And as that story is still developing, that death toll for Koreans, as you heard, is currently at 4, including the Egyptian driver who was helming that tour bus on a pilgrimage. Now, the subheadlines add that the group was from a church in Jincheon in Gangwon-do Province and that the number of casualties are feared to grow. The article says the group were on their way to their hotel when the explosion occurred. It's also the top story over on Joseon-ilbo. We'll go ahead and take a look at another reoccurring news item, though. Is this piece coming out of the Sochi Winter Games, though not about a member of Team Korea. It reads, Victor On's gold shakes Korea. And Victor On, otherwise known as An Hyun-soo, claimed the gold for the men's 1,000-meter short track on Saturday, though he represented Team Russia. And the captain says that the Korean-born athlete's victory is reigniting criticism of Korea's skating union, which is seen as being factional in its culture and as having lost a great athlete in the process, while online users congratulated On for his victory.
It must have been a bittersweet moment for An Hyun-soo himself, or Victor On, as he goes by now.
Right.
And President Park also has ordered orders to look into the matter and see if there were any irregularities regarding this election process.
That's right, and that's certainly something that will happen in the long term. But on your first point, certainly this is not so much of a win-win, but it seems to be a lose-lose situation more so. And in fact, over on Donga-ilbo, on that similar story, it has the caption saying, "I'm sorry," and "미안해요" coming from Victor On as well as the people of Korea. So certainly it's a story that people are watching this weekend. But we'll leave that story there for now and go ahead and take a look at this headline down here. Donga-ilbo's headline reads, 10 groups found to be aiding the enemy should be dismantled. And this statement cited to Justice Minister Hwang Kyo-an, who's pictured there, in an interview with The Daily. And in the lead, it says that the Justice Minister expressed his commitment to root out anti-government or pro-North Korean factions, adding that leaving them alone would be abnormal and irrational behavior. In the article, he says, in the courts alone, there are known to be at least 10 such groups in existence, thus that number in the headline. Let's go ahead and scoot on over to Gyeongyang Shinmun for a look at another story there. The headline reads, even upon reports of faking evidence, prosecutors to maintain charges. And this headline comes as the prosecution has charged a Seoul metropolitan government official of being a spy for North Korea and the Chinese embassy to Korea, responding to requests for the official's travel records, accusing the prosecution of submitting fabricated documents as part of its evidence. It's quite a complicated story, but the subheadlines say that the prosecution has responded by saying it's hard to believe that the charges were cooked up, while Gyeongyang Shinmun says that the party tasked with investigating the charge is not independent to the charge itself. All right, finally, let's go ahead and wrap with a look at Mail Business newspaper. Its headline reads, if Kospi received recognition like Taiwan would be at 3,200 level. The Daily says that Korea's stock market has remained stagnant for the past 7 years since the Kospi's closing price reached the 2,000-point mark back in 2007. And it points to Korea's PER, or price to earnings ratio for this, which measures the overall valuation of the stock market vis-a-vis earnings. Now, taking a look at that graph, Korea's PER currently sits at 8.5, and when compared to the PER of Taiwan, which sits at 14, that country is often compared to Korea for their similar industrial structures and geopolitical risks. It is much lower. Now, these figures are cited to the Morgan Stanley Capital International's index, and the article concludes by saying that experts are calling on the government to work with the capital market for long-term countermeasures to gain the trust necessary to boost Korea's capital market. And with that, we'll wrap your look at what's in print on this Monday. Next up are your closing numbers from Friday's market action.
Looks like more snow and wind is in the forecast for the eastern Gangwon-do Province. This can't be good news.
That's right. They've been bombed with snow over the past 2 weeks. And for more on today's weather and what we can expect here on the capital, we now go to Lee Dami.
Good morning, Dami.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. Today I'm reporting live from Chunggu, Seoul. I hope everyone enjoyed their somewhat spring-like weekend, as we did see fairly mild conditions. It looks like throughout this week here in Seoul, we will be continuing to see those warm weather conditions. Right now it is 1.5 degrees Celsius, and later our daytime highs will peak up all the way to 9 degrees. There are some clouds that are hovering, especially down south of the peninsula. There will be some rain down in Jeju Island, and it will make its way up to Seoul later tonight, so do keep that in mind. As for the East Coast regions, such as Gangwon-do Province and Gyeongsang-buk-do Province, will be receiving more snow at a max of 30 centimeters until tomorrow. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the temperatures around the peninsula for today. Seoul, Daejeon, and Busan's highs are at 9, Daegu at 8, Gangneung the coolest at 2, Gwangju at 6, Jeju at 10 degrees. That's all I have for the weather forecast. I'll be back later in the show.
And still ahead, Kang Sue-jin is a world-renowned ballerina full of charisma on stage with a unique attention to fine detail. She now leads the Korea National Ballet as artistic director. We sit down with her to follow her life story on stage and off stage.
Now, many kids are either getting ready to go to school, and some students, or many students, are returning to school in the month of March. And 95% of schools in Korea, they wear uniforms. So this is causing a bit of burden on some of the parents, and the rising prices is also growing a controversy.
Right. Uniform prices can cost an arm and a leg here in Korea, and this is making a lot of parents, the consumers, namely the parents, concerned and a bit unhappy. So the government is trying to step in and trying to resolve this issue. Let's find out more in this report.
Around this time of the year, many new and returning students buy new uniforms for school. But there has been growing controversy between parents and school uniform brands about the prices.
For girls, if you buy some extras with it, the total comes up to about $400 and for boys, it's about $200. So it's very burdensome.
In 1 year, my son grew to about 180 centimeters. I feel burdened already knowing that we'll have to purchase more uniforms until graduation.
Each school differs, but purchasing one full uniform plus a couple extra shirts or blouses will set you back more than $300.
Wearing school uniforms are mandatory, but many dissatisfied consumers are questioning whether the quality of school uniforms reflects the high prices. Manufacturers should address these issues by stabilizing prices to regain the trust of parents.
The prices of uniforms are an added burden for parents. According to Statistics Korea, the price of student uniforms increased 13.2% for boys and 14.2% for girls in February of 2012. Compared to the price increase in other school supplies, the increase for uniform prices is significantly higher.
Due to the nature of the market, a year's worth of business is determined by the month prior to the first day of school. The cost of base materials has increased a lot, as well as the cost of labor. Add store space rental expenses to the list and you will understand why uniform prices have increased. Uniform manufacturers are trying their best to provide great quality uniforms at the lowest price points.
Last month, the Korean Consumer Affairs Institute announced that the prime cost for a full uniform is roughly $75, but consumers are purchasing it at $225. Because uniform designs are different for each school, each uniform can be manufactured in small quantities, and some manufacturers spend an excessive amount on marketing, leading to a surge in prices. Every year, this problem resurfaces, prompting the Ministry of Education to issue an advised guideline for winter uniforms to cap at $190.
The whole point of wearing uniforms was to help lessen the burden of education expenses for students and parents. In order to stabilize education costs, the government has suggested maximum prices, school-led purchases, standard school uniform designs, school uniform donations and more. Local city and district level offices of education have plans to actively stabilize the price of school uniforms.
This is a school uniform bank operated by Songpa-gu office. For those who still find group purchasing prices too expensive, they can buy second-hand uniforms at a cheaper cost.
Donated middle and high school uniforms within the Songpa School District get cleaned and then sold anywhere between $1 to $3 per garment. Not only does it help spread the culture of sharing, it significantly lowers the economic burden for parents.
Previously, this was done by individual schools or a small group of parents or volunteers. But recently, local government bodies or public institutions like the Songpa-gu office have begun to actively establish and operate their own school uniform banks.
You can either donate or purchase uniforms at the school uniform bank. I've been using them since last year and I am very satisfied. If the sizes don't fit, I can get it altered. Since it's cheap, I frequently use them.
If school uniform banks become more well-established, parents will be less burdened by educational costs, and it will also help create the culture of saving goods and donating, recycling, and sharing. The Seoul City Government, Gangwon-do Province, Busan City Government, and other local governments are currently working to establish their own school uniform banks.
The school uniform bank, which was limited within a school as a uniform donation distribution business, is now expanding outside of the school walls with the help of the local government. You can say it evolved into a uniform donation distribution business through the use of a small government budget. Through school uniform banks, students can learn about eco-friendly policies and saving perishable goods. We believe that this business project will be welcomed by students and parents alike.
Every year, the controversy over rising school uniform prices has become a major social issue in Korea. Ahead of the new academic year, many students and parents are looking for solutions to this problem.
And of course, when you have those kids that are going through sudden growth spurts, then it has to be a burden on the parents and also the students as well if they are going out and working part-time jobs. Now, many cite the distribution structure as well as these companies, these big-name uniform companies, hiring a lot of the hottest stars around that season and hiking up the prices.
And secondhand uniforms and uniform banks are a great idea. I think it'll teach the students to the concept of sharing as well as conserving goods. So I think in the end, it's a great story to be able to share with your peers.
Exactly. It's good to know that there are viable options out there for parents to take and also get uniforms at a cheaper price. And still ahead on Korea Today, biodegradable and non-toxic and even edible. Now, if you're ever worried about being exposed to BPA and other environmental toxins, we have a lineup of products for you. Soap that you can eat, biodegradable plates with antibacterial qualities. Chamina brings you safer everyday products. Now, I could easily say that this next guest that we're going to meet is one of the best ballerinas, the top ballerinas in the world. She has been with Germany's Stuttgart Ballet for almost 30 years, and she's still continuing on her career, and now she is in Korea. Min-jung's going to tell us all about it. I was so jealous when I heard that you were getting this interview.
Right, I was so excited to meet her. I really had the privilege to sit down with Kang Sue-jin, who is now the artistic director at the Korea National Ballet, and we really had a good conversation on where and how she plans to take the organization going forward. So here's the interview. Take a look. Thank you so much for your time this morning. And now you spent 30 years on stage, and now you'll be spending your time on the other side of the stage as the artistic director of the Korean National Ballet. How has the transition been so far?
Of course, I work even more than when I was just as a dancer. Of course, it's a double work. I have to concentrate the office work, all these papers, all these business side. Right. As soon as I finish office work, I just run to the studio. And when I see the dancers, when I coach and when I work, they give me so much energy. My battery gets again charged.
Recharged.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
What did you mean by that? And how do you make this ballet company stand out on the global stage?
They have a technique. Korean people has technique. And they do have their own style, and they do have their own character. Now they are very strong in the classical, because they have been doing many of this classical. But these days, 21st century of a ballet world, and 21st century of to be, as a dancer, you have to be able to digest every style. So classical, neoclassic, modern, any kind of style, and that is what I would like the Korean National Ballet company style in the future. They are fantastic, but you know, even in the whole world, the best of the best, they are the most hungry person. You know, they always want to learn. Yeah, they are really hungry.
What are some of the things that you tell yourself when you go through those tough times?
I think if I didn't love ballet, I couldn't stand when I had this bad injury. Yeah, you love, so that's why it doesn't matter what is happening towards you. You just continue. This while I am injured, most of the time I worked more than when I was healthy, because when you're injured, what I learned, you cannot stop. And to rebuild, it is really 3, 4, 10 times more work. So when I learned so much, when I had, after all those years, the bad time means that bad time taught me so much that I became stronger.
And your role as a principal dancer is not slowing down. You have a leading role in Madame Butterfly that will make a world premiere. How are you juggling these two roles?
Ah, you mean as a dancer and as a director? Actually, it's not so bad. I don't sleep so much because there's not time to sleep. I do wake up very early as a dancer. Now I have to wake up even more earlier because I have a lot to do with the paper. But you know, I survived.
What time do you get up?
Normally, my usual time is 5:30 in the morning.
And what time do you go to bed?
Yeah, sometimes 2.
Oh, wow.
But if I can be able to sleep 3-4 hours, then I'm very happy. I have been living always like this because I have to prepare things before I go out of the house. Once I don't accept myself, my character is very disciplined. I do have discipline, but since I'm a kid.
Kang Sue-jin is at the top of her field, and with the 30 years of experience as a ballerina, what she has come to realize is that achieving small dreams every day eventually brings a much greater dream to fruition. People must look at you and think, what is there left for Kang Sue-jin? She's achieved so much. What is left for you to do?
For me, it was never important that it's the best or the first and whatever. I'm very thankful. Now I'm director. At the same time, I'm still dancer. Doesn't matter for me. I just do best how much I can for the day because that always gave me good result. The next day, sometimes it is not good. But at least I don't regret.
Your story inspires so many people. Will continue to inspire a lot of people, I'm sure. Thank you so much for your time this morning. And I hope to see you again on stage and off stage as well.
Yes,
thank you so much.
Thank you.
After that interview, I stayed 3 more hours. I just simply refused to leave. And, during practice, she was telling each and every one of the ballerinas to think of herself as the most beautiful ballet in the room, ballet dancer in that room, as if she's the principal dancer. That's really inspiring, to have that feeling, to think of yourself as the most beautiful ballerina and have to perform.
That's right, that's right. Her life is all about ballet. I mean, she traveled to Germany at a very young age and joined the Stuttgart Ballet. She's been with them for nearly 30 years and she plans to retire from the group in 2016. Now, one of the reasons that she became very famous here in Korea was because of one single picture, the picture that we just saw flashing by in the report and the interview.
Those feet.
That's right, the feet that tell 1,000 words. I mean, we're talking about 18, 19, 20 hours of practice each and every single day without missing a beat.
Can you imagine, right? The Korea National Ballet will kick off this season with their first performance of the La Bayadere, and many of us cannot wait to see what Kang Sue-jin has accomplished. And the production of La Bayadere will be on stage from February 28th to March 1st at the main theater at Busan Cultural Center. And you can also catch the performance right here in Seoul from March 13th to March 16th at the Seoul Arts Center. I'm sure many of us are excited about this.
Exactly, and we'll be looking forward to the changes and the improvements that are made with the Korean National Ballet ever since the inception of Kang Sue-jin as the leader. And now we're going to take a look at some more pictures of feet. Now, we saw Kang Sue-jin's feet and how she made headlines with that. Another star, Lee Sang-hwa, she's been gaining a lot of praise, and also people have been recognizing the effort that goes into her winning the gold medal at this year's Olympics. And Chun Song-cho has all that for us on Hot Clicks.
Good morning, I'm Chun Song-cho and welcome to Hot Clicks. We begin today with a race that speed skater Lee Sang-hwa competed in last Tuesday, which brought the first medal and gold for Korea at the Winter Olympics. This is her second Olympic gold in the women's 500-meter speed skating event since the 2010 Vancouver Olympics. And the day after her win, many web users were drawn to a post of pictures titled Lee Sang-hwa's feet. And what can be so special about them? Well, this close-up shot well shows that her feet are completely and prominently covered with calluses everywhere. And it looks even painful to look at her feet. And it is said that speed skaters don't wear any socks when they skate to avoid even the slightest slip. And since Lee started skating at 11, it's no wonder that her feet now look the way they do now. And people are saying that her feet are proof of her dedication and hard work, and also her muscular thighs, which she trained so hard for to gain more muscle mass, are also getting a lot of attention online. It truly shows that no pain, no gain indeed. Well, next up, let's move on over to another location that screams winter, Gangwon-do Province in the mid-eastern part of the Korean peninsula. All throughout last week, a record-setting and ongoing snowstorm paralyzed a number of cities there with a thick blanket of snow. However, the mounds of snow piled up high, as tall as a person, have become a new playground for some youngsters. Look at the thickness of the snow piled up on the roofs. And what kind of slide is that? Have you ever done that when it has snowed a lot? And when there has been an unimaginably large amount of snowfall, there's a whole lot more you can do. There's so much snow that you can even dive from a rather high place without getting injured, and you can even swim in the snow. If you lose your balance while you walk in between large piles of snow, this can happen as well. You fall and fall over. Many people are still working hard to restore all the damages caused by the heavy snowstorm. Enough with the snow already. A lot of people are hoping there's no more snowfall for a while. February is the graduation season in Korea, and it's not a proper graduation until you get your school yearbook. If you went to school in Korea, you'd know, but these are typical poses for graduation pictures. Well, nothing special. They all look very uniform and almost identical. But have you ever seen photos like these? Recently, some questionable photos were posted under the title Legendary Yearbook Photos and caught the attention of many internet users. Really? Spartan? Turns out that these are official yearbook photos. This school is well known for its hilarious themes and costumes used in student yearbook photos. It's such a great contrast with all the dull, monotonous graduation photos that they're getting a lot of hits online. Well, talking about graduation, one of the things that you miss the most about being a student is probably wearing those cute, preppy school uniforms. In Korea, most middle and high school students are required to wear uniforms, and this practice started back in the 1930s. And recently, the National Archives of Korea revealed pictures of students wearing school uniforms from 1950s to 90s. Well, let's have a look at those pictures right here. You can see the female school uniforms are mostly wing color blouses with flared black skirts. And then you can see also the men are wearing gray, lighter color uniforms. And then they're also wearing thick, dark, stand color uniforms as well. But in the 70s, the uniforms were pretty much the same. But until the 1980s, the government announced a liberalization of school dress codes. So students started to wear regular clothes to school. And that didn't last long, though. In the 90s, schools required students to wear uniforms again. And this time, they were allowed to choose different uniform styles. And that's why we see a variety of colors and designs that we see in today's uniforms. Very interesting to see all the transitions that uniforms went through. Well, next is our last story for today. A new movie about Seoul titled Bittersweet Seoul is making headlines these days. People are already excited about this movie because director Park Chan-wook, who is world-renowned for movies like Old Boy and Sympathy for Lady Vengeance, is involved in the production of this movie. The production of the movie is very unique as well. Seoul City government conducted a public contest to select video clips of Seoul, and the movie is basically a collection of these clips filmed by people around the world. So you can see Seoul through the eyes of people from China, the US, Canada, Singapore, and more. Director Park Chan-wook and his brother, Director Park Chan-kyung, selected 154 video clips out of over 2,000 that were submitted. These were combined and edited in post-production. The two directors called this process a little rough but complex and fulfilling, and added that instead of focusing only on the beautiful and flamboyant side of Seoul, they wanted to show that Seoul is a respectable city rich in history and that it's a place where you can feel the warmth of people. And the title of the movie also holds a very deep meaning as well. The Korean title 고진 감래 means a sweet reward awaits after difficult times. And the directors say that they try to show that the life in Seoul may seem glamorous on the outside, but there are elements of struggling and hardships within the capital as well.
Always trying to show both sides of life, the Park brothers. Now, Park Chan-wook's very well known for his revenge series, so you have to wonder how Seoul's going to come out. But I really want to see this promotional film. Where can we catch this?
Well, you can actually watch it online for free on www.soulrmovie.com for free. So you can definitely check that out online as well.
Okay.
Right. Thank you,
Song-cho, for that.
Well, see you guys next week. Thank you.
All right.
All right, let's go back to our Dami, who joins us by the Gwanghimun in Junggu, not to be confused with Gwanghamun in Jongno-gu.
And she has the reopening of the Gwanghimun, so we'll go back to Tommy right now.
I'm back, reporting live from Gwanghimun Gate, located in Junggu, Seoul. Now, back in the Joseon Dynasty, Seoul was a city that was surrounded by a fortress. So in order to enter Seoul, you had to either pass through 4 big gates or 4 small gates. And of the 4 small gates, well, it was this, one of them was the Gwanghimun Gate. Now, if we go ahead and take a look, it's just this beautiful, magnificent gate. It was closed off for the past 39 years. So there were barbed wire fences that were enclosed, making it difficult for people to approach the gate. But now it has opened up its doors. And starting today, February 17th, well, the Gwanghimun Gate is going to be open 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Now, funeral processions passed through both the Gwanghimun Gate and Seomun Gate. Thus, it was called the Sugumun Gate or Shigumun Gate. Shigumun literally meant coffin gate. Now, Gwanghimun Gate was said to be constructed in the 5th year of Joseon during King Taejo's rule between Dongdaemun Gate and Namdaemun Gate. Now, in the 45th year of Joseon during King Sukjong's era, they put up a sign for the Gwanghimun Gate, which meant the Gate of Light or Hope. But during the period of the Japanese occupation and Korean War, the gate was damaged and left neglected. Now, in 1963, this whole fortress wall was registered at the 10th historical landmark, and the 1975 restoration work started. So for the past 39 years, with the discussions amongst the cultural heritage officials, the Gwanghimun Gate and surrounding areas were restored in the traditional way. Okay, I'm kind of losing my breath right now because what we did was we just made up our way to the upper story of the Gwanghimun Gate. Now, right now the gates are closed, but if you would like to go ahead and take a look inside, you can always check out the program through the Cultural Heritage Visit Program, which is run by Junggu. Now, all you have to do is go into the Seoul Junggu office website and subscribe in the Cultural Tourism menu. So on Saturdays from 2 to 4 p.m., there's a program where you can tour the inside of Gwanghimun Gate, also Hungin Chimun Gate and Dongdaemun History and Culture Park with a cultural interpreter. So the Gwanghimun Gate hasn't been open for a while, so why not come by with your family, friends, and loved ones? Check out Korea's cultural heritage. That's all I have for now. I'm Idami, Korea Today.
And a good Monday morning to you all as we kick off the second week of our Sochi coverage with Kim Yeon-ha's latest practice before she defends her Olympic title later this week. Now, after she spent some time rooting for the South Korean short track team over the weekend, she also spent time practicing on the main ice rink for the first time. And while the figure queen didn't like the ice conditions on the other ice rink, she stated that the main ice rink where she will be competing later this week was very hard and was in good condition. She added that she saw a lot of the mistakes during the men's competition and was worried about the ice conditions, but was satisfied after her practice over the weekend. Meanwhile, she's set to have her short program on Thursday, followed by her free skating performance on Friday. And moving over to the women's 1500-meter speed skating event, where the Dutch skaters proved once again that they're the best in the world when it comes to speed skating, as long as it's not the 500-meter speed skating event against Lee Sang-hwa. Now, on Sunday, the Netherlands finished first, second, and third after Jorn Temors finished first with an Olympic record time of 1 minute 53.51 seconds for the gold medal, followed by Irene Wust in second and Lotte van Beek in third for the bronze. Meanwhile, the Korean skaters did their best as Kim Bo-reum finished 21st overall, followed by Do Sun-young at 29th and Yang Shin-young at 36th overall. Now, South Korean fans were introduced to a sport which really took off in popularity this year thanks to the recent success of the South Korean women's curling team. And despite their best efforts, they were mathematically eliminated from the Olympics. Now, going up against the 6th-ranked Denmark, the Korean women's curling team, who've earned the nickname Curls Day, fell short, losing 7-3, leaving their record at 2 wins and 5 losses. And with the loss, they will not be able to advance to the next round, even if they win all their remaining round-robin matches. And moving over to the much-anticipated bobsledding event, where 2 Korean teams headed into their 2-person event earlier today. And in the first race, the team of Won Yun-jong and Seo Young-woo finished 18th overall after coming in a time of 57.41 seconds, with Kim Dong-hyun and Chung Jung-min finishing 25th with their final time at 57.78 seconds. And in the second race, they improved their time just a bit as Won Yun-jong and Seo Young-woo finished the second race in 57.20 seconds, with Kim Dong-hyun and Chung Jung-min finishing at 57.76 seconds. Now, the final time after 2 races is good for 19th and 25th place overall, as Russia is currently in first place with a combined time of 1 minute 52.82 seconds. And shifting gears to the Alpine Ski Super G event, where Bodie Miller made history after becoming the oldest alpine skier to win an Olympic medal. At 36 years and 127 days, the American came in tied for third with a final time of 1 minute 18.67 seconds as he claims the bronze medal, along with Jan Hudik of Canada. The teary-eyed Miller went through a knee injury which sidelined him in 2013 and a devastating death of his younger brother last April. And finishing things off, let's take a look at how everyone is faring in the medal standings after 9 days of competition in Sochi. Of course, taking a look here, we'll see that Germany holds on to the top spot with 7 gold medals, as the Netherlands up there in second. Switzerland making a huge jump to 4th with 5 gold medals, with Russia making the top 5 with 4 gold medals. Meanwhile, Korea drops down to 17th after Shim Seok-hee added a silver medal in the women's 1500-meter short track event over the weekend. And that's going to wrap it up for me. This has been SJ. Have a great rest of the day, and I now leave you with some key events to look forward to in day 10 of the Sochi Winter Games.
These days, anything eco-friendly, biodegradable, and non-toxic are very popular. We're talking about household products made from corn, rice, coconuts, you name it, and they've done it.
That's right. So in theory, you could eat some of these products, right? Tamina joins us for more on this story. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, we probably don't want to eat these products. And the reason for that is because I'm going to be introducing some household products, actually, today that are biodegradable, eco-friendly, and as you mentioned, can be at times edible because it is that safe. Now, mothers are usually the ones in the household to dictate expenditures for the household, and companies, it seems, they're taking that into account more, putting items on the shelves that are more safe to become more appealing for families and children. So we're going to be taking a closer look at some of these products that are not just limited to children, but for the whole family, regardless of age. Let's take a look. As eco-friendly lifestyles receive more attention, edible ingredients are being used to make household products. According to a recent study by the Ministry of Environment, children showed higher concentration levels of endocrine disrupting compounds compared to adults. They had 1.6 times more bisphenol A and 1.5 times more phthalate methylbabaline. These are often found in toys and tableware. That's why safe and reliable products made with corn that do not have hazardous compounds are growing popular. At a tableware company in Seoul, they use non-toxic ink and corn to make tableware that is harmless to humans and to the environment. After extracting glucose from cornstarch, it's fermented and turned into PLA, which is used to make tableware.
Our products are made from corn. Since we use eco-friendly materials, you don't have to worry about endocrine disrupting compounds, which means it's safe for children to use.
Also, baby powder made from fermented rice and a makeup remover made from coconut jam are very popular as well. The natural components in coconut oil act as a moisturizer here.
These are supposed to be really good oils for beautifying.
Right, and that's because olive oil is known as a natural moisturizer. And here's another product that uses olive oil.
I haven't heard that one before. Avocado oil or avocados.
Now moving on to a home in the city of Seoul. Clay-type soap made from edible materials becomes a fun toy for the kids. The great thing is you can make your own soap. They can be molded, into various shapes and have many colors, so parents can use it as a fun activity.
엄마 나 이걸로 손 씻어도 돼요? 그래 우리 손 씻으러 가자.
With a soap that he made himself.
Absolutely. Since it's real soap too, you can really clean your hands with it. The soap contains no preservatives, artificial fragrances, and synthetic surfactant agents. What kind of ingredients were used to make this soap, you ask?
Looks like ice cream almost.
It's made with ingredients such as olive and avocado oils.
First, I like that they make it from edible materials because I don't need to worry about the children even if they put the product in their mouth. I also really like that it's harmless for the body.
Natural edible plant ingredients, which are also full of nutrition, prove the safety of these products.
Yeah, honey seems to be another ingredient that's becoming increasingly popular.
Why are these household products so popular?
Recently, we have been exposed to a lot of fine dust particles and endocrine disrupting compounds. Plant-derived from foods can help flush these toxins out. Therefore, consumers trust that products made from vegetable or fruit extractions are safe and harmless. Safety and health concerns are the reason why products made from edible materials are so popular.
Skincare products are no exception. Those made from ingredients such as carrots, kiwis, and Korean raspberries are popular with many consumers. Recently, one company grabbed headlines with its new skincare products made with grapes. They're made from grape water, seed oil extract, and the skin. It's famous for using a wine formula. This company supplies its products to first-class cabins for a Korean airline, so it earned the nickname First-Class Skincare. Even without any added chemicals, this product is an effective skin-clearing antioxidant made only with grape ingredients.
Because this product is made from edible food materials, I feel like it's more moisturizing than other skincare products, and I trust it most of all, so I think I'm going to continue using it.
As people become more concerned about harmful material in our daily lives, products like these are steadily growing as a trend in the industry.
How do
do you get tableware from corn and extracting all these oils? I mean, it's not what, but it's like, how do you do it? I think that's an answer that I like to know. But Mina, you brought some items with us that we saw on TV on our report.
And you set it up very well, Young. You said, how do you make tableware from corn? Well, you see here that the tableware...
And this is made from corn.
Yes, this is made from corn. And what you looked at here is the soap that you saw in the video.
Right, that the kids made.
Exactly. They can mold into any shape you want, so it becomes a fun activity for the kids. It's safe, and it works as a soap, so it's very, very clean in that sense. Now, these tableware that you're looking at here, it's biodegradable and it's also very healthy. And what's good about these products is that when you disinfect, for instance, you use high temperatures to disinfect, but this does it on its own, so there's no need to do that. And I see you're smelling that soap.
It's soap.
What is
it's
this?
soap.
It's a natural...
It's very...
Smells like lemon.
Good.
All made with natural
ingredients.
materials.
Wow. And it seems like not just large conglomerates, but smaller manufacturing, household manufacturing companies are jumping on the bandwagon as well, making, especially when it comes to baby products, right?
Right. You'll see a big trend in biodegradable baby products, such as even diapers and things that we couldn't even imagine were healthy. Baby clothes made from corn fibers can help improve eczema, and materials made from corn fibers are great absorbents. There's also a toy sterilizing solution that's hot on the market right now as well. This is made from cinnamon and fermented alcohol. And also there's a fabric deodorizer that's also very popular these days, and that's made from, I believe, garlic extracts. So foods that we eat and are used in everyday cooking, they're being used in everyday items.
I'm just fascinated with these the soap, and it has the larva character too, which is a very famous Korean character. Kids love this, and so they can spend a few hours making the soap and then wash their hands with the soap that they made. And look, it comes with this sticker, and it has all these different facial expressions on it.
Wow, make
so
it a
right,
well.
exactly. Make it a smiley face or a frown face if that's what you prefer.
My kids will love this, actually.
All right, so innovative products out there to keep the consumers happy and the environment happy as well.
And keep the parents' minds at ease, because, you know, you'd rather have something natural for the kids instead of chemicals any time of day.
And especially when you have children running around and they tend to put things in their mouths, you want to be wary that at least maybe safe products you want going into their mouths rather than toxic ones.
So you can be like, oh, you can go ahead and eat it. It's fine. Enjoy it.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, Mina, for bringing all these products for us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
That just about does it for this edition of Korea Today.
And enjoy the rest of your Monday. We will see you back here tomorrow morning at 7 a.m.
Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.